Here we go. We clap again. Now you starting it again?
Double clap.
Wait a couple seconds after the clap to start.
1, 2, 3.
Hey guys, this is Brian White, and this is the third episode of the Florence.
A couple seconds after I clapped. No, it's right after I clapped.
So now it's like, and then go, or it's like, go.
Two Mississippi after the clap.
Give him a 1, 2.
Okay. Yeah. I'll give you a 1.
You know what?
2.
I want you to get this one.
No.
I want you to get this one.
No. You're in the middle. This is your nation now. You ready? We're going to clap one more time. Watch Brody's going to give you the point.
Yeah,
ready?
That's a good idea.
Hey Freedom Nation, this is Brian White. This is the third episode of the Game Report. To my right I have Dennis Pelfrey, manager of the Florence Freedom. To my left I have Chad Rhoades, pitching coordinator. I'm going to let Chad take over real quick, talk about our pitching this past week, let them know the details on what's kind of going on behind the scenes.
Well, behind the scenes of what was the record? Both teams over the course of the week?
The Florence Freedom were 6-0.
6-0 plus.
We call
Let's
it
go
two.
6 plus.
I didn't call it.
3-2.
3-2, 9-2.
So 9-2.
9-2 on the week. We had some good performances, which some guys want to talk about. There's a couple good starts that we had. With Clayton and Hahn. Jackson Ellis had a good start yesterday.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But the week started.
Making a statement. He's making a statement.
Well, you remember so much more later in the week. Like, what's fresh on your mind? But don't forget about the combo you had in your doubleheader. I mean, you got Tripp and Bennett throwing for you. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
In 2 7-inning games. Good luck. They were both really nasty. But there's a couple guys. Fleming.
Yeah.
I told him. I was like, hey, man. I even texted him later tonight. I think it was 1:30 after we finished the reports. We were watching it live. If you guys didn't see the second ever sudden death extra inning game, Fleming. I told him it was brass balls right there, because he gave up a 3-run shot to win it
Immediately,
right?
Yeah.
To win it.
First hitter.
10-6. Guys fought back. Had to make him fight back. Offense scratched, pulled, clawed, beat that dude up.
Yeah.
For 4, Flem had to go out, clean ninth. Had to hold the gate, 10-10, and he did. And then, sudden death. So, here's what I was confused with. He's got as much time as you want.
Yeah.
You want. That's what I was going to ask you about. As much time as you want.
Uh-huh.
Flem goes, sits down on the bench, takes a drink, and we're rolling right back out.
Yep.
Runner first base, 10-10. Extra innings, sudden death. Half inning, get 3 outs, you win. They score, they win. There's a runner first. You got Ben Revere, you got Hairston, and you got Winokur, the dude who hit the 3-run homer. All affiliated dudes, one former major leaguer.
Yep.
And all they got to do is score 1 run and win. Nah. No, held the gate, man. He attacked. He didn't pick. He came after him. And I told him, I was like, man, it was nice. And he's like, I got to do it for the dudes. They clawed back. He made that one pitch. And then to end the game on Winokur flying out to get him to come back, it was awesome. Props off to Flem.
Yeah.
It was huge.
It was exciting to watch. I mean, we finished our game, and we got to see the end of that thing and see it develop, actually, the tie, and then Fleming go out for that.
Oh, we're going nuts in there.
Yeah, we're going nuts. We're going nuts. And the other team's coaches are right next door to us.
What's going on? I didn't watch the whole thing or what?
We had just, we just spanked them. So then it's like, man, we are just throttling Lexington.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Kentucky. They're in Kentucky. It's nice for Florence, Kentucky, but at the end of the day, Florence is better.
Oh, yeah, I mean, they made that pretty obvious this past week, especially y'all.
Yeah, it was
some big-time wins over there. I didn't get to see them, but, man.
Yeah, well, I was going to talk about Flem. I started diving in.
Yeah.
So he
Oh, you got numbers here?
Yeah, I got some numbers, but after his 2 innings, then we hit the sudden death rule. I go up to him in the dugout. I said, hey, we're going back out to the field. I said, are you guys? Can you do it? He's looking at me. He's like, yeah, I can do it. I was like, okay, we got some time. Take your time.
He's like,
He's like, no, I'm ready. So he just goes. I'm like, all right, here we go, baby. Our whole defense is confused. They're like, are we hitting? Are we playing defense? What are we doing? I said, we're playing defense. Let's go win this game. He just goes in there and fly out, ball game. It was nice.
Yeah,
it was exciting, too.
It was exciting. The other one I want to hit on, the little blip of the week, was Boone. You can see it. Boone yesterday. Big at bat for Boone. first professional punch out.
First professional strikeout.
He gets a lefty, left on left. We brought him in a situation. We had a runner at first. There's 2 outs. Boom.
He had several firsts in his career last night.
He did.
First time he'd thrown 2 strikes in a row, and then the first time he threw 3 strikes in a row.
Yep.
It's pretty impressive. But he tried to throw that cutter, or we thought it was a breaking ball, I think, and that's
he named it. Shouldn't name it.
Yeah, he named it. That's a problem. But that's what you see. Not even in guys like Boone who are developing and trying to figure out how to become a pitcher, all the way up to the Jonathan Tripps and the Bennetts, where they get to a point where they're so confident and they try to do something they really shouldn't try to do at a point, and it's like, baby, just stick to the plan. Just throw, for Boone, his plan was to get the ball off the plate. And then so he locked back in, which was great, because after that, we're all thinking that maybe he can't find the zone again. And, in one of the exhibition games, I had to go out there and ask him what was going on. He's like, I can't find the zone. And I just pointed to the plate. Well, it's right there. The zone's right there. You know what I mean? And then he throws a strike. You know what I mean? So it's like, sometimes when guys, things get so big on them. But, man, it was an exciting night for Boone and obviously the Freedom offense. But for Boone, it was great in the dugout, man. The game was 20-4, and when he got out there, everybody wants him to do well. Yeah. And that's what I love about what we're doing here. Even though we have the Freedom versus the Y'alls versus the pitching staff, basically there's 3 teams, but man, we're all in it together, and we're all in it to get better and win and compete and all the healthy things about competition in this thing, and that's what makes our thing so special. I mean, there's some other Yitzer leagues out there and stuff like that aren't this special. They're just not, man. And it's like it's hard to explain what we've created here. It's just something that you have to watch and have to be around to see. Mm-hmm. But man, when Boone got that strikeout, our whole dugout erupted. It was crazy.
It's really like it's a visceral experience, like unless you're really a part of it, in the middle of it, working with the relationships that are intertwined. That's what it is, and I don't think people understand is the relationship that we have with baseball being in our core and bones. It that seeps out into creating an environment that people get it, and they get here, and they're like, when they're a part of like the trust and the inner circle, especially in the pitcher, and getting a part of the inner circle, and they hold each other responsible for doing things right. You can tell them the truth. I'm going to tell you the truth, man. I'm going to tell you the truth. What's going to make you better? I'm going to tell you the truth and how you take it in. And everybody, the conversations have started to shift towards baseball and good things and helping each other and working on the right things. Mm-hmm. I've had a couple times conversations like, hey, you ain't here to coach, baby. Like, you're not here to coach. Don't touch this guy's delivery. Don't touch his mechanics. I have priority. I have a list in my head. I have a list written down on every single guy of priorities that he needs to be thinking about. And if you're changing those, you're changing him, you're hurting him. Don't hurt each other. You can help each other. Talk about some grips. Talk about some different parts of the zone and stuff like that. And they've done that really well. I see guys out there working on some change-up grips that they got from other dudes that they like. It's really cool. The environment. This is what you're talking about. I mean, yeah, unless you're a part of it in the middle and you actually know the relationships that we have with every single player and the relationships that they've created with each other, you're never going to get it, and it's awesome. It's really clicking. A couple other dudes I want to hit on. We got some new arms. We saw this past week, McDonald and Hayes, man. There's some better stuff coming out of those arms, and what came out of those arms to start was fire.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I wish I did. I'm going to watch it a little bit later today. But.
McDonald was a buzzsaw.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Big, dominating.
It's a monster.
Coming at you. I mean, their best hitter for the Leandas is that higher kid. And
he can play, man.
McDonald made easy work of him. It was incredible.
He did what we need. I'll kind of go with the starts. Get a couple of guys who won't hit those starts. That one, you talk about higher. I mean, you watch him, dude. He puts the barrel on the ball. Yep. Every single game, hits the ball very hard. Good bat to ball skills. I mean, he can hit a little bit. And so with him, we had the plan of we're attacking him, and we're going to let him know that we're coming after him. We're not going to shy away. We're not going to pick and nibble and hope to get a lucky strike and get ahead and then make you chase. No, I was like, we're going to set a tone and we'll let him know that we're driving pitches to both sides of the plate. That way we can establish that you're going to have to cover both sides. You're going to sit here and try to backleg me. Kevin Hahn's start. This is where I want to start off, and we'll talk about this one. He shell-shocked Kevin. He did. He got him. You saw that, man. You talk about we had the plan with Kevin, and he had the plan too. And it's like the old Mike Tyson. I guess everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the face, and he got smoked in the face. He got dropped. He did. We had the plan to get the ball in, and it was more of a he tried to guide and be real fine on the block to just clip something, and instead of driving, staying in and just with a little more intent, and it got turned around. I mean, he got turned around in a hurry. He smoked the ball, and Kevin got a little shell shocked. It was kind of like, oh baby, I thought that was a good fastball, and turned on it. And it's like, that's the point where it's like, hey, man, there's not a pitch that you're going to throw. There's not a velo that a human can throw that another one can't hit and hit out of the park like that. You got to get over that. Like, you got to get over. It's going to happen. And he did. After that, he settled in. He shifted gears, man. When he started using his Vulcan little split.
Oh, yeah.
He's got 68 to 78 with the circle, to 88, 89 with his fastball.
20-mile-an-hour difference.
Boom, boom, boom. When he can shift gears and hit on that split for strikes, he's really hard to hit.
Yeah.
He's really hard to hit. But if he's picking, trying to guide and be perfect and not really pitching his game, which is really back and forth, hey, you saw what happened. Hires the type of guy who hits that. He can stay middle and he can stay on it. And he barreled him a couple times. That's what cost him his 3 runs. But he really did a really good job of controlling the lineup and the at-bats after that. I thought it was a really good start.
Too, also with him, it's like when he does get a little fearful of the plan, the arm action is what is going to be key for him because of the off speed. And if that arm action changes, which I think it probably did in those situations where the fear started to kind of take over for him, that's when you saw just a little bit and the hitter can pick it up. And obviously, it's not hard enough to really dominate somebody, even if they know it's coming. So
if there's a little bit of push, it does. It shows.
You can see that guy, and it's kind of a roller coaster with him as far as the confidence and the fear, kind of just battling up there.
He's so gritty.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like his fear is always trying to back down his confidence is always trying to back down that fear, but then the fear comes in just a little bit. But then he kind of locks it right back in and kind of gets it under control. So
he's
nice to watch.
Yes, he is, man. You know he's going to fight. You know he's going to go work for you. Like as I said, he's gritty. It's just like, and he's got to understand that he's got to make it. The gritty guys like that, they got to make it dirty with their splits and embrace that contact. You're that type of guy with, when your fastball is not consistently going to beat guys to the punch. Mm-hmm. You got to be gritty and you got to be willing to take a couple shots to give them back. And he is. And I think he found that to the later innings, and then he started using his split, and he started abusing some of those guys. He punched out 6 of his last 7.
Yes. That's where that confidence took over, and it was like, all right, I'm going to free it up. And I know you were in his ear every inning, but he freed it up. Man, that last inning, the last 2 innings, really for him was great.
It was nice.
I could see that greedy mentality out of him. As soon as he found out that we were doing this thing, he was the first one, not even 15 seconds later after we got off our meeting, immediately texted me saying, tell me where I need to be and I'll be there. So as soon as he said that, I knew he had that kind of mentality, that dog mentality that I just want to go out there and get it done.
Where did you find him?
He was at California Winter League.
Mm-hmm. Okay, nice.
We found some things in his delivery. We had some issues. He had an issue, some starts over there, some innings that he thought they were picking up signs and showing some signs. But I talked to him and watched him very closely and was like, hey, man, it's not that they're necessarily picking up signs. You know how he does his little tap and his turn, he kind of cranks on to fill his backside engage. It's different pitch to pitch, and so, but made him aware of it, and I wanted him to be aware of it because now he can use it as a cape.
There you go.
He can cloak it. Yep. He doesn't. I don't necessarily want. Look, if you don't get to the same point every time, just know you don't.
Right.
And you have to put yourself in a position on different pitches.
Or fools him a little bit.
Free fool him a little bit. So you can use your delivery as deception there. He knows that now, and it's really making sure that he does get to a good spot. He knows where he's at as far as keeping in his posture, but knowing when he goes pitch to pitch and really wants to go that split, that he's not cranking on his posture and turning too much and giving that away.
That's smart, though. That's smart. That way you can still be comfortable and be himself at the same time, knowing not to basically give away his signs. I like that.
I mean, the Florence Freedom offense, we could sit here for a couple hours and talk about what's happened this past week with these guys, but no, I'm gonna go over a few guys. I do want to talk about a little E.P. Reese showing up. Just got in town. I think he was with the Washington Wild Things when that league got shut down before they had a champion over there. But E.P. Reese came over. he was in the Astros organization very short time. I think I can see really why he's a guy that gets drafted or is going to get some opportunities, but then I can also see why he didn't really get a lot of an opportunity there and got released. I think, I don't know that there was a lot of work done with him, but I think there's something there. He's very athletic. He's got the look.
Yes.
Yesterday he makes a diving play up against the wall. The angled brick wall in Florence that could end guys' careers.
Scary watching.
Scary watching. But man, the way he addressed the baseball, the way he went after those, because he hasn't been a part of any of our outfield drill work or anything like that yet. So, and what I talked to him about, especially the hitting, because they all want to know, what am I doing wrong hitting? We're going to let you hit and get a few at bats. I want to see you in the field. And we got him a start yesterday, so we got to see him in the field the entire game to see how he moves on balls. And what a lot of people don't understand too is, when there's a ball hit to right field, he's playing left field. I'm watching him. What is he doing? Because he did have a ball where Riggins was in center. The ball hit really well, and Riggins had a good beat on it. And we talked to our guys about attacking those balls. If you think you can get it, let's go catch it. You got the right fielder and left fielder coming to back you up, and EP kind of hung out over there in left field just to watching the play. Got lost in watching the play, which a lot of guys do. And immediately when he got in the dugout, I was like, "Hey man," I said, "we want to have trust in each other, and I need you to trust that Riggins is going to be backing you up if you want to go into the wall and make an ESPN highlight play." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I get it." So the next time there was a fly ball hit to center, guy was busting it over there. It was great. It was awesome to watch. So he can pick things up very quickly. He is athletic. I don't think he got a hit yesterday, but he had a big RBI for us. And the game was a little bit closer. I mean, it was probably within 5 or 6 runs, opposed to the 16 or 20 we were ahead at one point. But it was a ground ball to short with a runner on third, less than 2 outs. Bang, bang. RBI, that's how you make money. That's how you get to the big leagues and stay in the big leagues is run production. So impressed to see with that. I didn't really see anything bad other than a couple things in the swing I think that Mike's going to be able to fix. And I think you're going to see a pretty good player come out of EP. But moving on, I'm going to talk about Cesar Trejo, man. And wasn't expecting a whole lot this week from him because he had a little tricep thing last week he had a swing and a miss where he hyperextended that elbow a little bit and it kind of tweaked that tricep. So we didn't really know, how long he was going to be out or how he was going to feel, but he's a big-bodied guy. He takes care of himself well. So he healed up rather quickly. I think he ended up pinch hitting in Game 3 this week, late in the game, just to get in the bat to see how it felt. With that tricep, felt great. So then we threw him in there the last 3 games against the Leondas, and I think he was like 3 for 5, 2 for 4, 4 for 6.
Killing.
Infield hits, doubles, homers. I mean, the guy does it all. Stolen bases. I think he stole 3 or 4 bags in one game with ease, beating out infield singles. The best part about Cesar Trejo this week was his last at-bat yesterday. We're up 16 runs. And he hits a chopping ball in the infield, and he is busting his butt down the first base line. And that's what you don't see. You see, I saw Ben Revere last night in your game in the 9th hit a ground ball to somebody and just jog into first base. Oh,
Yeah,
no,
it
I'm
was
sorry. It wasn't the 9th. It wasn't the 9th.
It was
It was
early
like
in
in
the
the
game.
6th.
I
It was
saw
a
it
diving
too.
play
Yeah.
by Watley up the middle.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we were all
pulls it
locked
short.
in. Watley makes a throw, and I'm like, oh, it's going to be bang, bang. And he's 10 feet from the bag.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that's what I don't like. And I'm not saying it's Ben Revere that's doing that. I'm saying for the majority of players, what I love, and I always go back to what we've created here and the mentality we've created here, and the guys holding each other accountable. If you don't run to first base on those balls, our guys are going to be all over you. You know what I mean? We don't have to say anything, which is great. And they understand, man, that everything is important. And then we talk about it like the umpires in a 16-run game expanding the zone. No.
Yep.
Don't reward those guys for us beating their butts. You know what I mean? Like,
Make them throw strikes.
They have to throw strikes, and it's important to us. And every pitch is important. It doesn't matter if we're up 10, down 10. So that's what I love about our mentality and the guys that we've created. And it's really awesome to sit back and kind of watch. And if I was a fan, I would enjoy coming to these things. It doesn't matter if it's 20-4 or what it is. Just seeing how the guys compete,
right.
at least on our side. I'm not sure how the Lexington guys are running their operation or doing their thing, but watching our guys compete. But Trejo, man, he's recently released by the Mariners. Mistake on their part, I think. This dude, he is a man. This week I'm going to try to get him out in the outfield a little bit because he plays some outfield too. But he can play anywhere on the infield, and he says he's a pretty premium outfielder. So he did the outfield drills last week, and he looked really good. So I'm going to get him out in the outfield this week a couple times, along with a DH spot, and probably, bounce him around the infield a little bit too. But he's a guy that's valuable, and he's going to find his way into just virtually any lineup.
Yeah.
AJ Bumpus, can't say enough about this kid. He came to us at the tryout, and he's a Reds guy. He's in their organization. But man, I think he's one of the most improved players here from day one.
I agree.
Because what we saw in spring training was a very raw, athletic guy, nice guy. You can see he's strong, but didn't really see a baseball player, in my opinion. Didn't see the baseball player that I thought I should have seen. But man, some of the outfield drill work we've done, he has become the best outfielder on our team as far as how he approaches the baseball. There's no panic ever. He's shown a couple strong arm throws that it was like, oh wow, he's got a little bit in there. So we haven't even done any throwing stuff with the outfield stuff yet. So how this developmental league is working is, we're gonna start with the fundamentals of reading a fly ball, getting our jumps, using our hips, and now this week we're going to get into the throwing part of it. So I can't wait to see, once we start doing some of the throwing stuff, to see what his arm really looks like, because he made a throw from right field the other day that was like, wow, to third base. I mean, on a line, we could have cut it if we had to, but it made the play at third very, very close on a ball that I'm thinking 100% of people tag on and make it to third base easily. So he showed a big league arm right there. He's shown pop. Opposite field home run off the scoreboard. I mean, off a guy that wasn't throwing real hard at all. So he's supplying a lot of the power there. But the swing and the approach has, I talk about the defense, how good he's become. He goes up against that wall in Florence too that'll end your career and makes every single play look like it's easy. He's smooth. But man, and I talk about how good the defense has gone, but the offense, his at-bats and his approach has changed so much since day one. He is a threat in that lineup, man. We hide him down in the 6-7 hole because of the lineup. And guys are like, oh man, I get through this lineup. Now I got Bumpus, and then bam. You know what I mean? It's like the guy's an RBI machine. I think he gets a hit every game he plays. He gets an RBI every game he plays. He was Jets pick to click yesterday, and I took him out of the game. So Jet thinks I'm throwing the game or whatever. I'm like, I don't even remember that, but he got out of the game yesterday because he hits the best at bat I've seen him have in the spring, in this season. He hits a ball probably 110 mile an hour exit velo to dead center on a line. Fortunate for the Freedom, the center fielder lost it in the sun, but it might have went through his glove anyway if he would have got to it. Ends up hitting I think it was a triple, but it hit the wall hard. I'm surprised it didn't go through the wall. But we were up really big at that point. Got in, talked with Mike. I was like, hey, what do you think about getting Dave Suggs in here, letting Bumpus in the week, his phenomenal week on that swing right there, and just think about it for a couple of days. And he was on board with that, so that's what we did. And man, I can't wait to see what kind of threat. Is he going to be that Barry Bonds type of threat? Because he's tough in the box, by the end of this thing. So, Logan Wyatt, Tyler Fitzgerald, I'll talk about those guys briefly. A couple of Giants guys. So I got to work with them a little bit in spring training, got to see a little bit of what they are. But it's hard in that environment because, man, you've been there, Chad. Like, those players, they're always looking around to see what other players are there, who's going to get released. So it's really tough to bring out that competitive nature in a guy when it is competitive, but also what we talk about is that freedom to be who you are, like free it up and just be a dude. And man, Fitzgerald obviously he soaked it all up this week because he's struggling at first, and I think that he's really thinking. We had a conversation, where he's like, man, what's going on? What am I doing? And I said, exactly. I cut him off right there. It's like, I want this. And that's where the problem is. I want to show, this team, because of the environment we've created. I keep going back to it, and I sound like a broken record, and I apologize, but everything that happens here happens because of the environment we create. So I want to make sure we understand that and understand what this thing really is. And I don't even understand what this thing is we have, but it's so special and so nice. But you've got an affiliated guy, a 4th-round draft pick, wanting to impress the guys that he's with, the team that he's with, and wants it so bad that it's causing him to struggle a little bit. I said, hey, baby, just be you. You're here for the reason.
Yeah.
Just be you. We made a very, very small adjustment in that stance, and the guy goes off. I mean,
Smokes.
I think he was 3 for 6 yesterday, 2 for 5 the day before. He was 0 for 5 the day before. We hit a couple balls hard, a couple homers.
On breaking
doubles
balls.
on breaking balls,
And
doubles
so-
off the wall. Some pop-ups on the infield that were almost as high as I hit him with a fungo, which is
5
physically
seconds.
impossible. I mean, Oppo triple in the gap. Like he went off, and defensively he's looked very, very solid. He did make an error yesterday, and what I love about him too, after the game, not during the game, after the game, he's like, hey, what do you got on that double play? And I told him my thoughts. He's like, all right, I think about it, get it. You know what I mean? He's going to come right back. And he's only playing the Friday, Saturday, Sunday games for us, same with Wyatt. So, you know, I wish he would come out tomorrow and come to work out or come to these others, but he does have some other things going on as far as his work and what he's trying to prepare for to possibly be called up to that 60-man, you know, for the Giants. Or, you know, my thing to him, and I told his parents this the other night, I met his parents for the first time, nice people. I said, you know, I'm going to get him to the big leagues. That's my goal. That's my goal is to get Fitzgerald to the big leagues. Same with Wyatt. Same with anybody I work with. I want to get him to the big leagues.
Right.
So, you know, what can we do to get him better? But Fitz is a nice player. He really is, and he showed really what he could do with the bat this week, and obviously made some nice plays with the glove too. So,
All right, guys. We didn't start off too hot. You know, first series against the Leyendas. Some unfortunate defensive mistakes that we made. Still trying to grow in that aspect, and it's not even the tough plays that we're talking about. It's more of okay, I already fielded the ball. Now where are my feet at? Or where did I throw the baseball? Or how do I make this throw to that bag? And we're just not giving ourselves the capacity to really do that. At times we're putting ourselves in best spots, but we're learning from it. Outfield was amazing this week. I think we had 5 outfield assists in 5 games over the week.
Pew had 3 of them, huh?
Yeah, Pew dominated them. We had a nice relay to pull out that win early in the game, the first game of the series against the Legends. So the outfield they're starting to chirp a little bit in the dugout, you know, don't run, you know, let them know.
It's nice.
You know, so it's fun to watch, and our catchers make good plays at the plate. So they're doing some good things, they're doing some really good things, but then there are those moments where we're just like, what is going on right now? Like, how is this happening? I think it's just we're not taking care of the little basic fundamentals in those important moments, those easy plays that we're getting lackadaisical with, and it's costing us at times.
They're great learning moments, though.
It is, because, I mean, you look at our roster, most of these guys would be rookie ones. We have a couple experienced players, and we've got some college kids on here. So they are a young team, and they're starting to figure out how to play together, how to be in the right spots, and most importantly, how to communicate. That's kind of what we've been preaching most of the week, is that communication hasn't really been there to start the season. The outfield, you know, just simple things like the ball at the end of the bat, center field, where it's one of those reads for a center fielder where he goes back for a split second, but neither corner outfielder is saying in, or whatever the case might be, something like that, where we can completely turn those innings around and save those big run innings and put ourselves in better situations to win these games. But we made the adjustments going on throughout the next series. Yesterday was our cleanest game of the week. Everything stayed in front of us. No pass balls, no throwing errors, no fielding errors, throwing to the right bags, hitting our cutoffs. All those little things, and resulted in surrendering 1 run, and that was in the last inning of the game. Yeah. So the defense, I think they're starting to really see the importance of how much that impacts the entire game. But our base run has been dominant. It's absolutely dominant this past week. Taking every ball in the dirt, going first to third, scoring from second, looking to steal second base, just grabbing the pitcher's attention. Yesterday, Tenney led off the game with a walk, and the pitcher's so worried about him, is lefty, and he won't pick over with the high leg kick or with the slide step. So the only time he's doing a high leg kick, he's going over the first, slide stepping, he's going to the plate, and every time he slide stepping, his arms is late, so he's just leaving the ball up. So Tenney was able, with his attention on first base, able to draw the next walk for Baker. Then the next walk for Watley made the pitcher look pretty bad. He's so focused on him. Then once he finally has bases loaded, the pitcher's able to relax because Tenney can't go anywhere. He's able to throw strikes, and we get the situational RBIs in that moment. So the base run has been very, very good for us, and that's really what's keeping us in the ball game or helping us win games, as well as our approach as a team. Where these younger guys are starting to buy into the concept that Mike's giving them, locking into their zones and not just swinging a bat just to swing a bat, and knowing what their strengths are, and they're starting to stick to those things. And we're resulting in a lot of pitches per game, and we're averaging about 150, 160 pitches per game. and not as far as us scoring runs and getting all these hits like y'all guys are doing. Ours is more so dragging out these long at-bats, grinding out these at-bats, battling with 2 strikes, fouling pitches off, not chasing, all those little things, and those pitchers are getting worn out. And by that, 75 pitch mark for that arm, 80 pitch mark is still pretty early. We start putting up some runs and get into that bullpen, and then, as you know, the bullpen over there is a little thin, so if we can get deep in there later in the series, it's just it makes it easy for us.
Yeah.
So they've been doing really, really good with that. Pew stood out big time this week. Just watching him year to year to year that we've been seeing, and he's so close right now. He's so close. You want to talk about like a big leaguer? He looks like a big leaguer at the plate right now and on the bases and in the outfield. They lost that 1 ball in the light early in the week. Yeah, I talked to him the next day. He had a great jump on it. The last second ball got in the light, pulled up short, and ended up turning to, I believe, a triple. It's pretty unfortunate. But that arm's getting stronger. He's getting accurate. He's taking the right reads. He's not chasing that pitch high anymore like he used to, where they break him on the dirt. He's staying within himself and not trying to do too much at the plate or trying to impress. He's just being himself, and you're really seeing it open his game up. So he's been having great at bats, and pretty impressive to watch him grow. Harry got Harry in for the first time this week. Yeah, he got some loud pop in that bat whenever he's up at the plate.
He was up in the middle last night. Had the infield in.
Yeah.
Ball's loud on TV. It was pop.
Did you see his last one to right? He banged that, hit a line drive off the right field wall so hard they kept it to a single. Couldn't get the second base on it. Missile. Still getting comfortable with his timing, off speed. Struggling a little bit with that right now. He just got back after being hurt in quarantine for like the past 2 months.
So he had a leg thing, right?
Yeah, he had a little problem with his leg, like in his back hamstring behind his knee almost. It was in a weird spot, kept him out a little bit, but he's starting to get comfortable with the at-bats, starting to see some more pitches, and you can see his confidence growing as he gets more and more plate appearances. So it's been solid. And then got Dudley Tollin. He was the first guy, or first time this week he got in. Just rolled in Sunday, I believe, of last week. Pretty athletic kid. Defense, I know he talked about his defense being good in the drill work, but some of his reads just a little weird. I think him being here every day and being able to do the BP stuff and getting his reads off that's going to make it a lot better for him. But he's a solid body. It looks like he's an athletic kid, and he's been playing athletic. Let him off the other night, the second game of the week, and just wanted to see what he was about, how he'll handle that situation. Resulted in 3 runs, good at bats, I think a walk as well. So he had a pretty good opening impression. Then I just want to get him comfortable and being around these guys. He's a younger guy.
It's a few day thing, and then once he does, I think Tuesday workout tomorrow, it'll kind of lock him in a little bit as far as what we're about, because he's one of those guys trying to, like a puppy, trying to feel his way around.
Exactly.
Like, what's going on. So yeah, he did well in the drills and the outfield drills. So I was pretty impressed to see that, and then see what he was going to do this week. But obviously, there's some more work there. But probably some of that nervous tension.
Oh, I'm sure.
So
I'm sure.
That's what it gets to. But.
Yeah, and playing with some older guys, but he's hanging in there, and he's not overmatched by any means. He can definitely play with all these guys, no doubt. Then the last guy I want to talk on is Piatnik. He's been had a pretty slow start to get here, trying to do too much at the plate. It looks like he's trying to impress. Finally, looked like he relaxed in this last series against the Legends. Got a few knocks, a couple runs, even got a walk. The at-bats are getting more patient. And I think that he's starting to see what he can actually be if he just trusts himself and not trying to do too much. He's probably the most athletic guy on the team.
He's very athletic.
Freakishly athletic, drafted out of JUCO, I believe. But just never, I don't think he knows who he is just yet. So my goal with him for the whole thing is just make sure that at the end of this thing he knows who he is and not trying to be somebody that he's not.
Yeah.
If he can do that, then I think he has a real shot to advance his career. But he does have to buy into that mindset. He's slowly starting to do that and slowly building that trust. But it is hard to change your approach whenever you've done something so long your whole life. Then now all of a sudden someone's telling you or suggesting you ideas that you're not really familiar with, to be able to buy into that trust and really that approach believe in yourself to see if that works. So I get it. It is hard to switch over, but he's starting to see that from him.
I guess let's talk about the players of the week. And Chad had to leave here, so I'm going to give him a call He's got some guys going down. He's got some guys going down to the field. A couple bullpens going, but we're going to give him a call here on this thing. See if we can get it on speakerphone, and because he's got to give us the pitcher of the week because he left without doing that. Let's see what he's got here. See if he answers. What time is it? Right?
Yeah.
Hey, you snuck out of here without giving us your pitcher of the week. So I got you on the call here on the show via call. Who's your pitcher of the week?
You're going to put the screws to me? Okay, reliever of the week, so you threw 3 out of 5 days.
Oh.
Showing so much growth. You got Wagner. Yeah, there you go.
I like it.
Yeah.
Knees, I call them knees now.
Knees, yeah.
I call them knees.
Reliever of the week. Who's the starter of the week?
Starter of the week, man. I think you got to give Bennett went 6 and went deep. He gave that 1 run, but being able to go deep, 85 right now, limit some pitches. He's going to get better. I think you got to go Bennett right now. We did have some good performances, though.
Yeah, I agree. So Bennett with the start of their week and Wags with the reliever of the week. All right, man. We'll let you get back to it.
All right. Send those cuts down when you guys get them.
All right. Sounds good.
All right.
Yeah. So 2 obviously good picks. I mean, with a handful of guys to choose from. I mean,
Right.
And I'll go with my guy, position player of the week for the Freedom. I mean, again, with all the offense that we've had, I couldn't even tell you how many runs we scored this week, but some things that we're doing. But Cesar Trejo,
Yeah.
Even with only the 3 games, he's electric in the box at any moment. The guy's going to hit the ball out of the yard, chop the ball, beat it out for a single. I mean, I can't say enough good things about the guy offensively. The swing, I love the swing. It's so short. You don't really see it these days anymore. He's got an old school type of swing where it's like A to C, opposed to the guys kind of getting that barrel dip and trying to elevate the baseball. So that's what I love about him. He's not going to get beat by anybody. Any kind of velo is not going to beat him. He's going to put balls in play. He's fast. He can steal bases. Very smart. And I think the guy can do it all. We had a nice national anthem yesterday sung by this young woman, and it was probably the best one we've had all year. But there was only one person in the ballpark that could probably sing it better, and it's probably Cesar Trejo. He just looks like that guy. He looks like that guy that can do everything. The all-American guy, like he can do everything. He's got the face, like he could be an actor. I think he can do everything. He's Cesar Trejo. I mean, he's got the. What about the name? The name's incredible. He's got everything. So
it goes with it.
I can see the guy being in the big leagues. I can see him being. As a co-actor with Denzel Washington in some big-time movie. I could see him singing the national anthem at the...
guy does it all.
I think he can do it all. That's my guy this week.
That's beautiful. I'm going to go with Brandon Pugh. Came up big time after time, whether it was just finding a way to get on and start the inning, getting that RBI in or laying the bunt down, and all the outfield assists that he had. He shut that run game down. Anytime a guy got on second, those last 2 games, balls hit to him. They could have walked him. He was holding him up at third base. So being able to do that and have that kind of respect out there in the outfield, run everything down. But then the at-bats were so impressive this past week. I don't think threw one at-bat away the entire time. No matter what the score was, and stayed locked in, stayed into his approach, and you're starting to see big things from him. So that's going to be my guy right there.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
All right.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week.
All right. Thanks, guys.